Hello everyone, this is Craig. Welcome back to the Earth SMP podcast. It has been quite a while since the last podcast. Got a lot to explain. So basically, we were able to do it 2 weeks in a row, and that was the first 2 episodes, and we're already off schedule. I suppose Australia was sick the week after episode 2, and then I was sick because I have allergies. We'll get into that later on the podcast. And then last week we didn't have the time to do it, and now this week I'm flying solo because no one else has the time, so I'm doing it. This is probably the first podcast and not the last where I'll be flying it solo. There may be other people flying it solo some weeks, you never know. But we've got a lot of topics this week. Not just this week, the past month. It's been a month since we uploaded a podcast, so we've got a lot of stuff to go through. It's just going to be me giving my thoughts this podcast. No one else to chime in, so it may be shorter, it may be longer, who knows. So, first thing, more Minecraft snapshots came out. Let's see here. We got new color beds. Color beds were now added. It's been quite a requested feature, I think. But they're basically like the wool colors a little bit. I'm looking at the yellow, the light blue, the magenta, orange, and did I already say lime green? Beds. They look quite well. They suit. Texture pack creators already did this anyway, but it's good to see they added it. Now this puts the thing about item IDs and blah 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 blah. They're actually skipping out. They plan to do an item ID, rework the whole entire item ID system. If you guys don't know what the item ID system is, it's when you're putting in, say, a command or you hover over a block, it says something like Minecraft and then colons and then the block. So it would be like, if you're looking at a command block, it would be Minecraft :command _ block. They also come paired with a number. So I think number 1's stone or dirt, but they're running out of the amount of numbers they can have. So they're reworking that system, but it's not coming out until 1.13. So this update cutting a bit fine with all the terracotta blocks. I suppose terracotta blocks are one ID, but different, I guess. I don't know. Another thing, shulker boxes got a color change. They now match the corresponding block colors. Hardened clay got its name changed. It is now called the terracotta. So hardened clay and all the hardened clay blocks are now called the terracotta blocks, and the terracotta blocks were originally called glazed terracotta. They're saying glazed terracotta. So I suppose the blocks are now linked. Who knows? There's a new mob. What are they called? The Illusioner. It can duplicate itself. I think that's all I know of it. I'm just looking through the patch notes right now. They added a tutorial mode. So for players who I have yet to check out the snapshot, I will be doing that soon. I think it appears for the first time to people who've played it before, and then after that it doesn't show again, I'm guessing. So it's like the first tutorial, if I remember, is press WASD and then you have to hold it, and then there's a time bar. I'll have a video up on screen if you're watching. If you're audio, apologies, but it's basically like a bar that goes across the screen. It's in the top right. Let's see here. Key binding options. Oh yeah. The shift and what was it? What was it control? I think it was shift. But if you the creative hotbars I showed off in one of my snapshot videos, if you press like shift and 1, it would set a no, it was control and 1 would set a toolbar. So what you had in your toolbar at that time, and then shift and 1 would switch the toolbar. That is now bindable, so you can change the keys. added anti-stick coating. So you can't pull glazed terracotta, I'm guessing? It says added anti-stick coating to glazed terracotta. Yeah, here's the change. Renamed hardened clay to terracotta. Let's see here. There's other ones that I have written down. Achievements have been replaced with advancements. I'll have a video up on screen right now of advancements. Basically, they're these, like, it's more of like a tree. I know the original was a tree, but achievements have been replaced with advancements, but there's also advancements called for crafting. So there's this new thing. Hold on. There's this thing with, like, basically Minecraft Pocket Edition, Minecraft consoles start with the 360. That's why I always go to say Minecraft 360. I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, so it turns out advancements aren't the crafting table thing. But whatever it is, it's like you would be able to see the crafting recipe before you crafted it. So PC never had it. I suppose you always had the wiki in PC, but consoles and Pocket Edition, if you clicked on an item where you were in the crafting inventory, it was a separate inventory, it would show you the crafting recipe. So it'd be like if you didn't know how to make a door, which who doesn't know how to make a door, but it's an example. It would show you, oh yeah, it's, 6 wooden planks in this order. Now, with this, you click on it, it shows you it. But you have to have the blocks, similar to sort of Terraria. Terraria, you have to have all the blocks, but you get a block and it shows you the crafting recipes you can make with that. So, it's quite cool. They seem to be sort of approaching the newer audience, I guess. I suppose is what you'd say. So yeah, I'm looking at the advancements. It's like a tree. I need to find the name of the other thing. I don't know what it is, but yeah. What next? What else have they added? Parrots! They've added parrots. How could I forget? They've added parrots. They've added parrots. It's a brand new animal. They got in contact with a modeler who made a mod. I think they made like horses and stuff, and they contacted them. Could you get us a parrot model? Sent them a parrot model, and now there's parrots in the game. The parrots mirror sounds from other mobs in the game. So, for example, if a spider was around the parrot would start to sound like a spider. You can sort of tell the difference. But yeah. Sticking with Minecraft news, and then we'll transition. Minecraft, the Nintendo Switch version, got announced for got its launch date, basically. This was shown in the Nintendo Direct conference on April 12th. The official release date is May 11th, 2017. Comes with the Mario Mashup Pack, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Wool colors? No, I think we talked about that. Wool colors were changed. The recipe, that's what it's called. The recipe book is the whole crafting thing I was talking about. There's a new narrator thing, so like, it's basically text to speech chat, so it'll read out what the chat says. I suppose it's going more to them unabled people. They've now made it that stairs are like, you can place stuff on them now. So it used to be you couldn't place torches on the bases of stairs. They wouldn't connect to fences, but now they do. For like 2 weeks, it was like the fences would connect to anything, so it would connect to a banner. It looked really cool. What else would it connect to? Connect to like string and leashes, but like the parts of it would stick out. Yeah, it was really weird, but they removed the bug. Some people were disappointed with it, but oh well. Nintendo Direct, April 12, 17. It was It was different. They definitely pushed 3DS a lot more. They were trying to show, oh yeah, 3DS is dead, by the way, if you didn't know. So they started off. Hold on, I'm getting the list up here. I should be prepared. No, that's a video. Oh yeah, new Zelda amiibos got announced. That'll be on screen right now. A lot of 3DS games were announced, like a lot. Let's see here. I apologize. A Pikmin game got announced. I'm surprised we haven't heard from Pikmin in a while. We had the Wii U game of Pikmin, I think, at launch. Ever Oasis, a new Kirby game, a trio of Kirby titles, so it must be 3 Kirby games, a new Monster Hunter game, no surprise. It's actually a Japanese port. Miitopia, let's see what this is. Looks like just a Mii port. Yeah, it's like, if you guys ever played the Street Pass Adventure game with the Miis, it's sort of like that. Yokai Watch, it's getting a port. Bye Bye Box Boy, Dr. Kiwashima's Devilish Brain Training. I haven't heard from Brain Training in a while, but I guess Brain Training's making a comeback. On the Switch, there's a standalone Nintendo Switch dock. So, I thought they were announced before. They were something like £70, which is like $90. But they're arriving on 19th of May, so if you want to have different your Switch hooked up to different TVs in different rooms, you can now separately buy it. It actually comes with an AC cord. That's surprising. Or an AC adapter, sorry. They sort of cut them from the 3DS models and the Wii U models in later stages, but I guess they're back. ARMS got a launch date. I'm actually really excited for ARMS because they announced a new character and I think a new game mode. I may be wrong. That is coming out on the 16th of June. Splatoon 2 is coming out a little bit later than expected. It's coming out on the 21st of July. There's a new Salmon Run mode where it's PvE, I think, or one person is like this fishmonger person and you have to kill all these fishes that are coming out. It revives with a new amiibo. I can't speak. Payday 2. This is weird. Payday 2 is coming out on the Switch. This game, I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong, came out in 2013. Yeah, 13th of August 2013. And this is on the Switch. Don't get me wrong, Payday 2 is good, it's still going well. But why on the Switch? Why on the Switch? Monopoly, the video games on Switch. Don't know how that's going to work when those games can last days and the Switch's battery life at the minute's 3 hours maximum. Must need a lot of battery packs. Rayman Legends. Oh, we've all played that game. Minecraft Nintendo Switch, already talked about. Project Makuru. I think that's it. And then the Smash Bros amiibos were announced as well. Let's see here. So we got let's have a look here at the Link amiibos. We got a Majora's Mask one / Ocarina of Time. Looks like a Skyward Sword on the right and a Twilight Princess one in the middle. I forgot about this. We got 2 Bayonettas, 2 in the middle, I have no clue, and then is it Cloud? I think it's Cloud, and Kid Cloud from Final Fantasy. And then Splatoon amiibos, they all just look the same to me. So yeah. Moving on. Probably the biggest story, second biggest story this week. We'll get into other stuff soon. The bigger story soon. YouTubers are losing money. Bet you never would have seen that coming. It's nothing to laugh at, but yeah. I've lost monetization on my Create channel. I still have monetization on my old channels, but my channel mustn't be old enough. Let's check here. I have officially lost monetization. I had it before. Not like I was earning money, but I still lost the right to it. Basically, now you need 10,000 views to enable monetization. A lot of people complain about this, but the thing is, I had 36,000 views on my old channel. There was this one TARDIS video that blew up. It was whatever. I got 33 pence a month. I'm not supposed to reveal that, but I never actually got it, but it was estimated that I would get 33 pence. That's basically what Social Blade says. I never actually checked for sure. They said 33p a month, which doesn't surprise me. So these YouTubers that are like, I don't get any money, they wouldn't get any money anyways if they tried to. Unless they've got loyal subscribers that refresh their page for ads. Not that there is any ads. Let's just get into this. Advertisers pulled their ads. Pretty much 90% of advertisers. Coke, Sprite, McDonald's, the usual companies, the big advertisers that you always see on videos on YouTube, unless you use AdBlock, which is very bad, but it doesn't really affect you anymore because you wouldn't be paying the YouTuber anyway. They pulled out ads after the Wall Street Journal. Who knew? Wall Street Journal, if you guys didn't know, there was a whole PewDiePie controversy with him saying death to all Jews, and Wall Street Journal started investigating an article of a video of I suppose you could say a song. It was a racial song. I think it was called Alabama N-word. Let's see here. What was it called? I don't know what it was, but it was a racist song, and Wall Street Journal found that there was ads on it, and they went to these advertisements like, your ads are being displayed on these. I can't speak. These ads are being displayed on their video. Your ads are being displayed on these videos. What do you have to say? So all these companies announced an ad boycott where they weren't going to YouTube, and they were pulling all their ads. So all of them pulled their ads. YouTube ad revenue plummeted to the ground. People I always refer back to Drama Alert because Drama Alert seems to be where I get my news now. It used to be Scarce, but Scarce is just whatever. They were down 18%, I think, a revenue, or was it higher than that? I'm not sure, but it was drastic. Some people have had to quit YouTube now and go get a normal job because Scarce. I just slagged him, and now I'm talking about him. He's now talking about getting a second job because he can't pay for it. But to be honest, some YouTubers aren't taking this as bad because they were smart and they planned for it. These YouTubers that went out and bought fancy houses, fancy cars, who don't really can keep that financial, who can't keep that upkeep if they did lose YouTube, are the ones missing out because they didn't invest their money in anything else. They invested it all in cars and stuff like that. So they're the ones that are really suffering. Plus the smaller YouTubers, of course. It's sad, really. Some of the advertisers started to come back. Scares and Keemstar started up this whole petition of thank you Coke, because they thought that Coke was still advertising on the website. It turned out they weren't. It was really awkward. So am I still recording? Yeah, I am. So it was really awkward because they were like, thank you Coke, everyone tweet thank you Coke, but then it turned out that Coke had pulled their ads and they were just like funneling out. And then they had to retract that video, and it was just, oh, it was awkward. So some of them have came back because of YouTube's type policy now monetization. Most videos have been demonetized from big YouTubers. H3 got a lot of videos demonetized. A lot of people have lost the option to combat these monetizations, these demonetizations. So usually you can appeal a monetization. So someone, if they pull ads from video, you can basically appeal it and say, look, this video I think is advertiser friendly, can you please review this? Most people lost that completely when they went to appeal, so they can no longer do it. YouTube say this is a bug. They said that with the subscriber bug. I don't know if the subscriber bug's still going on. That's sort of just been shifted to the side in a minute. At the minute, I can't speak. That's sort of been shifted and like not as much talk about. Well, I suppose this is a bigger story. But I'm not sure if that's still a thing, because revenue was still the same when that subscriber thing was happening. And they said that was a glitch, and then that whole thing happened that we talked about in episode 1 or 2. It's just weird. On our next story, this is the whole United Airlines thing. If you haven't heard about this, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? Basically, there was a day, it was Sunday to be exact. It wasn't last Sunday, it was like 2 Sundays before. I don't have the exact date. I could find the exact date, but I really don't want to. A passenger by the name of David Doe, there was a video that went viral. There was a couple of videos that went viral of him being thrown off or dragged off a plane. He got his head beat off an armrest and then dragged off the plane by, I think it was airport marshals. So this went viral, and yeah, the whole internet was tagging United stock went down. It was horrifying basically, because it was all over an overbooking. So basically, United Airlines wanted to get 2 passengers on the plane. So it was quite a short flight. Let's see here. It was at the O'Hare Airport. I think that's... Okay, my internet isn't working now. I should have had this saved. Oh, it was from Chicago to Louis. Yeah, so it was to Louisville, from what I can tell here. So it was from O'Hare International Airport to Louisville. Wherever Louisville is, I apologize. I had this research done, and then last week I forgot it all. I had it all in the document and stuff, but now I've just forgot it all. So they had 2 members of staff, or 3 members of staff, that they needed to get on to the plane they can miss their flight, so they can get on their flight or something. 4 United crew members who need to catch a flight in Louisville on Monday, said Powell and Bridges. So these must be investigators or something like that. So the United Airlines staff came on basically and said, we're going to pick 4 of you from our computer, and you're going to get off basically. We're going to give you money and you're going to get off. So the first 3 people got off fine. But then Dr. Dow came along. He had patients. He's a doctor basically, and he said he had patients in Louisville that couldn't miss. He couldn't miss. Like, these were important patients. Of course, he's a doctor. So he refused to get up. They then offered him their final offer was $800. It originally started with $400 and a voucher to stay at a hotel for the night. So he refused. Then it went up to $800, and he still refused. So no, they offered passengers before that money, and then they said, we're going to randomly pick. His name came out and he refused to leave. So then 2 airport marshals, or 3, let's see here. 2 security officers from two security officers from the Chicago Department of Aviation were then called, and they basically dragged him out. He started saying, "No, I'm not going. I need to go home." He's a doctor. He needs to go and see his patients. So he refused, and then they basically started to drag him out of the seat, and then while they were dragging him out of the seat, they hit his head. I don't think it was intentional, but they hit his head on the armrest, and then he sort of got knocked out cold, because they were able to freely drag him after that. You could see the blood coming out of his mouth, from the hit of the headrest, and then a few minutes later, he came back on the plane screaming "I need to go home, I need to go home," and then. Not sure if I think the staff member eventually got the seat. And Dr. Dow, I think, I don't know if he's home yet, but that wasn't reported on. So, United put out a statement. Let's see. They started with, "We apologize for the overbook situation." They made no reference to Dr. Dow. They then released a statement from Oscar Muniz, the chief executive of United Airlines. "This is an upsetting event to all of us here at United. I apologize for having to reaccommodate these customers." Keyword there, reaccommodate. So he said they had to reaccommodate the customers. "Our team is moving with a sense of urgency to work with the authorities and conduct our own detailed review of what happened. We're also reaching out to this passenger to talk directly to him and further address and resolve this situation." Oscar Muniz, CEO, United Airlines. Then a letter got leaked of Muniz basically saying to his employees, "Look, this situation," he's quoted, "Like you, I was upset to see and hear about what happened last night aboard United Express Flight 3411 headed from Chicago to Louisville. While the facts and circumstances are still evolving, especially with respect to why this customer defied Chicago aviation security officers the way he did, to give you a clearer picture of what transpired, I've included below a recap from preliminary reports filed by our employees. As you will read, the situation was unfortunately compounded when one of the passengers we politely asked to the plane refused, and it became necessary to contact Chicago aviation security officers to help. So they felt, this person's refusing to leave, let's get the airport cops on them so we can kick them off. Our employees followed established procedures for dealing with situations like this. So supposedly, established procedures are to hit people's heads on an armrest and then drag them out of the plane. Great policies. Great policies. America, you've got great policies, just saying. At least we have some decency over here, Aer Lingus, boy. While I deeply regret this situation arose, I also empathetically stand behind all of you. And want to commend you for continuing to go above and beyond to ensure we fly right. Above and beyond, kicking people off flights by dragging them. I do, however, believe there are lessons we can learn from this experience, and we are taking a close look at the circumstances surrounding this incident. Treating our customers and each other with respect and dignity is at the core of who we are, and we must always remember this no matter how challenging the situation. Oscar. So this also included a summary of Flight 3411. We already went through all this. Let's see. Right back on the aircraft. Yeah, we've already talked about that. Then on Tuesday, after this letter got out, he changed his mind. After people threatened a boycott against them. So Muniz put out another statement. The truly horrific event that occurred in this flight has elicited. Sorry, it's late, okay. Many responses from all of us: outrage, anger, disappointment. I share all of these sentiments, and above all, my deepest apology for what happened. So he's apologising now. Like you, I continue to be disturbed by what happened in this flight, and I deeply apologise to the customer forcibly removed and to all the customers aboard. No one should ever be mistreated in this way. See? That's all you have to say. I want you to know that we take full responsibility and we will work to make it right. It's never too late to do the right thing. I have committed to our customers and our employees that we are going to fix what's broken so this never happens again. This will include a thorough review of crew movement, our policies for incentivizing volunteers in these situations, how we handle oversold situations, and examination of how we partner with airport authorities and local law enforcement. We'll communicate the results of our review by April 30th. It is April 22nd right now, so the story isn't over yet. I promise we will do better. On Wednesday morning, he appeared on Good Morning America, which is an ABC show. He said he felt shame when he saw the video. He stated, "This will never happen again on a United Airlines flight. That's my premise and that's my promise." Okay, he said. So they offered a refund to every member on the flight, or to every passenger on the flight. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people actually took that. I would. No offense to like Dr. Dye, but I would have took it. Then the lawyers said they're gonna put out a lawsuit. Then United put out another apology to avoid the lawsuit. So it's just the same stuff again. So now news has come out about Oscar Muniz that he won't get, I think it's chairman status. Yeah, he won't be promoted to chairman after the incident. Okay, so our next segment comes from a YouTube channel that's quite popular. It is a channel with over 700 subscribers, quite close to 800,000. It's at 759,000 from this article. It could have changed, it probably has changed due to this controversy. So basically what happened was, Philip DeFranco broke this news. I'm pretty sure, if you don't know who Philip DeFranco is, he's a YouTuber with over 5 million subscribers. He does a daily news show. He's sort of what based off Keemstar and Scarce. Like, this is just an episode full of Keemstar and Scarce, but basically, he broke this story and showed a video of the parents having like ink, and then they put the ink on the floor and then said, "Oh, we're gonna blame the kids." So they do this prank and it cuts, and then all you hear is them screaming and they're shouting emotional abuse at them, swearing at them, and then this was to one of their children called Cody, I think, and then they involved another one, and then they just go, "Oh yeah, it's a prank," with them two sitting crying on the bed. So yeah, this sparked a lot of controversy, started getting a lot of hate. People started saying, we need to contact social services, need to get these kids taken away. Then they found more evidence of the father telling one of the kids to punch one of the sisters and his daughter in the face. So that video was found. Then they released an apology, just to say, like, we're not hurt, we're fine, you got the kids to say it and stuff. One of the quotes was, "How am I abused?" Then another one said, "I'm upstairs playing a game right now, how am I abused?" Just this video. Philip DeFranco made a response about the video with the whole slapping thing. The videos were all privated, and then apologies were put out. So there was a Twitter apology, there was a video apology, The video apology started off fine, and then they blamed Philip DeFranco. Blamed him and said everything would have been fine if he hadn't brought it up. They then took that down, along with all their other videos, and made a real apology yesterday. So yeah, I don't know if they're losing subscribers. If I check, it seems to be they're getting hate, but they're not getting that much hate. Okay, so they were. Let's see here. I think they're actually. Yeah, they actually grew. They haven't dropped any. They're now at 765. Their social blade grade's gone down now, though. Oh no, their subscriber gain is down 14.4%. Oh wow, whoa. Oh, that's video views. So they seem to have lost a lot. Oh, that's because so they're taking another apology down. They lost 173 million. That was when they took their videos down, and now it seems to be they've lost another 800,000. So maybe they removed that apology again. Let's see, but they made several apologies. Nope, that one's still up. Okay, so they're only uploaded at the minute. It is one called Daddio 5 Founders Issue Public Apologies. They're talking in the third person. So yeah, this thing's a disgrace. Personally, I think there's another thing with this, which we'll get into in a minute. I think the kids should be taken away, if I'm honest. Like, child abuse accusations, stuff like that. So then another video came out. I saw this on I'm Alex's channel. A video of the supposed biological mother of Cody and Emma, which are the two, must be the mother in the Daddio 5 channel stepdaughter. She claimed that this Daddio 5 mother forged documents to take Cody and Emma away, and that she had a GoFundMe or Kickstarter set up to get them back. No, it was a petition. It was a change.org petition to get them back. Then I'm Alex showed the video, and now this is like the next part of the story. So yeah, she could be lying. They could be lying. Who knows? But yeah, it's a weird story. It's a very scary and sad story. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. Our next topic is Call of Duty World War II. So this is it's a surprise because they were true and we never thought it would go back to boots in the ground. But Call of Duty released, what was it, Thursday or Friday? They released that. They released a teaser, and they basically confirmed the rumours that World War II is the next Call of Duty by Sledgehammer Games. So, boots on the ground, they basically said it's all about World War II. There's been some leaks already of images, and the release date was confirmed today that it's the 3rd of November. So, I'm quite excited. There was some images that were on Activision's website that they didn't actually want people to see, and then people got the images, and they've then replaced the images. But these images were like five. One of them was 5 soldiers. Another one was of a person holding a Thompson shooting at a fire range, and then can't remember what the other one was, but they look like good graphics anyway. I don't really worry about graphics in a Call of Duty game anymore. I have other games like, what other games? I don't know, but other games to satisfy my graphical needs. Call of Duty doesn't really have good graphics anyway when it comes to DLC. If you've ever played a DLC, you would know what I'm talking about. Just missing textures everywhere, and yeah. So it looks quite good. DLC 5 for Black Ops 3 is supposedly being leaked as well. It's called Zombie Chronicles. Some people have been able to pre-order it. Some Spanish and I think Polish retailers leaked them as well, showing listings. And yeah, it's gonna cost money though, supposedly, because the season pass only costs 4 DLCs, but that's not surprising with MWR's variety pack. The Star Wars Last Jedi trailer came out. I just want to touch on this briefly. Star Wars Celebration was over the weekend, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 was announced. I'm quite excited for that. It's gonna include Darth Maul. Supposedly Darth Maul didn't die after all. If you guys know what Star Wars is about. He's got cybernetic legs now. He was in Star Wars Rebels, I think. Now he's canon. So that is going to include characters from all generations. So we've got episode 1 through 9. It's going to have some Rogue One in there. It's going to have the original trilogy. It's going to have the prequels. It's going to have The Force Awakens. I think it's also going to have a little bit of Last Jedi, they said. And maybe that's next year. I was going to say the next Star Wars film, but that isn't until 2019. Anyway, as I was saying, the Last Jedi trailer looks okay. I gotta say I was quite disappointed with Force Awakens. Now a lot of people ask me why I was disappointed with Force Awakens. Probably because I went into it not knowing what to see, but I still had high expectations. Like, I went into it and I wanted it to be like good. I suppose I've grown up with the prequels and I actually liked the prequels when I was younger. I haven't watched them since, but it had that sort of like, I didn't really know what I was thinking when I was younger, and like I saw these movies as much more as they are. Like if I went back and I've watched a lot of movies that I watched when I was younger. They're not as good as I thought. So I thought my expectations, I think, were too high, but I didn't realize they were too high. So like I was expecting good stuff out of Force Awakens, but there was good stuff in there, but it just didn't meet my expectations. But of course, as I said, my expectations were too high. So I feel like The Last Jedi, I'm going to give a chance. I'm not going to go in expecting anything. Mark Hamill's back, so I suppose that sort of gives me a little bit of childhood memory. It was weird. Hayden Christensen showed up to the Star Wars Celebration. He had like an interview thing. It was really weird because it's Hayden Christensen. He said he was done with acting and everything, and he just showed up at the panel, or he showed up at an interview to talk about Star Wars, and he said he was really happy and stuff. Maybe as a cameo. Maybe he's a cameo in either The Last Jedi or the movie after. The movie after that's supposed to be the Han Solo movie, or something after that. But he's somehow involved in the Star Wars universe again. Because why would he do these interviews now, after he said he was so much done with acting in general? So yeah, poster for Star Wars Last Jedi. I forget what it's reminiscent of. It's reminiscent of one Star Wars film, but I can't remember. But it's basically Rey standing with a lightsaber, and it's actually Kylo Ren's lightsaber because it goes out at both sides. I have it on screen, and then we've got Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker on the left, and then Kylo Ren on the right. Yeah, it looks weird. Some shots of the trailer. We got Captain Phasma. Supposedly, Millennium Falcon's getting a reskin for The Last Jedi, because if you look at the details for Star Wars Battlefront 2, it has details of the Digital Deluxe Edition where you get a reskin for the Millennium Falcon. It says something like unlock the reskin, or unlock the Last Jedi version of the Millennium Falcon. So it sounds to be like a skin. BB-8's back. It seems to be taking place a lot in Skellig Michael. If you guys don't know what Skellig Michael is, it's actually off the coast of Ireland, I think. But it's quite close to us. or to me even. But that's where the Luke training sequence is taken. Yeah, it's in the Republic. So it seems to be taking a lot of place there. Got some. It's basically where Rey does her Force training powers, like Luke did in Dagobah. Yeah, it looks quite good. So I've got some high hopes for that. I just said I wouldn't have high hopes, but the more I look into it and the more I read about it, I'm actually quite excited. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to really help. So I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 is coming out after Last Jedi. Okay, so it comes out. No, that's the wrong Star Wars Battlefront. You search up Star Wars Battlefront 2 and it comes up the original 2017. Let's see. It doesn't even say. While that's loading, I'll search up Last Jedi, because if it's got Last Jedi content. Okay, so Last Jedi comes out on the 15th of December, and Star Wars Battlefront comes out November 17th. So they must be releasing the Last Jedi content after it comes out. So like they'll do like a January patch or something, or January DLC. But they did say that there will be Last Jedi stuff specifically. So maybe they just put in the stuff that's only in the trailers. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited. I'm worried to see what they do with Carrie Fisher. If you didn't know, Carrie Fisher sadly passed at the end of last year, and she supposedly finished filming her scenes, but who knows? It could be quite. They could do CGI. Grand Moff Tarkin was CGI in Rogue One. I started watching Rogue One and never finished it. I should maybe do that, but it looked a bit like Star Wars Rebels. It just didn't suit it. If it was video game CGI, it would have been top notch, but it didn't look right. Just something about it didn't look right. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so we're just gonna finish up here with a little bit of like updates on what's been going on and why the podcast sort of like stopped, and like I'm gonna announce this now. The podcast is gonna go back on hiatus for another month. I'll get into that soon, but basically, Trini was sick one week, and then I was timing didn't work out the next week, and then 2 weeks ago, I was sitting one night and I was like eating, and then I was like, okay, people seem to like peanut M&Ms, and I got like Easter eggs. Of course, it's tradition over here, just get Easter eggs gifts, which are chocolate. So I got an M&M one. I was like, okay, people seem to like peanut M&Ms, so I'm gonna try one. So I tried two. I tried two. Two was fine. Then I tried a third one, and I suddenly started to feel sick. I was like, okay, I've tried peanuts in the past, this usually happens, but I'll usually just be sick and I'll be done with it. So I went to the toilet, I was sick, sorry to like, if you're eating or something like that. I was sick, and then I started to get a really bad temperature and stuff like that. Went to the doctor, got my bloods done. Turns out I'm allergic to nuts. So I was sick all that week, and now I have an allergy to peanuts. So that's what's been going on. So the reason why the podcast is going to be going on hiatus is because we have this thing over here in the UK and Ireland. We do GCSEs and A-levels. GCSEs used to be called O-levels, if I remember correctly. They're basically just exams that determine if you're going to stay on for another 2 years at school, or you're going to go to university, or you're just going to go to community college, or you're just going to find a job. So I have my first set of exams coming up on that. Starting on, I think it is the 14th of May, and then it goes on to the 2nd of June. So I have to be like, sort of, getting my head down, studying. So I won't be uploading any videos, and I won't be doing the podcast, because I've got to evaluate my time and what I'm doing. And there's just going to be no podcast, and there's going to be no videos from me. So maybe someone else will take over the podcast while I'm away. I might, show them how, because the way I do it is I have to run it through virtual cables. I have to use voice meter. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you'll know like how much of a pain in the ass it is to set up. So maybe someone will take over from me. Hopefully someone will and keep the podcast going. But if not, if I check my dates right now, we will be back on Sunday the 4th of June. I'm thinking we may do another podcast this week. We actually could do another podcast. There may be another podcast on the 30th. If there isn't a podcast on the 30th, I'll put an update out on the Earth SMP channel. Also, SoundCloud updates. It will no longer be available on SoundCloud. We reached apologies. We found out that SoundCloud has a limit. I sort of knew this at the start. They had a limit on the upload time, but I thought it was like you had a limited space, but you could only upload under 3 hours at a time. But I looked and I found out we only have 2 hours left. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it on YouTube now. If this podcast does end up getting a bit of traction, a bit of views, we'll end up wanting to put that money into SoundCloud Pro. Because basically, if you don't know what SoundCloud Pro is, it's this thing where you get more statistics. I can't say that. Statistics on your music. You get more upload time. It gets put up to 6 hours instead of 3. Still not a lot. We would have to get the unlimited version. I think you can pin stuff to the top of the profile. So unless we get a lot of traction and we start getting sponsorships, fingers crossed, we get noticed, that we may invest in that. But for now, we're sticking on YouTube, and I suppose we know YouTube a lot better, and we know the platform. It's a lot easier to upload to. We were trying to upload to iTunes, and iTunes just wouldn't let. So that is it for the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the Earth SMP channel, subscribe to my channel, and yeah. Goodbye, guys.